Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. I'm Prashasti Arora and you joined with me for UNSC reforms. आज हम बहुत ही important topic के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं, which is the United Nations Security Council reforms. We know that in the present times it becomes very important for us to understand the reforms that UNSC deals with, and we will talk about all the important functions of the UN, and we will talk about the UN Charter as well. Now, a little about myself. I've done journalism from Lady Shriram College and I enjoy delving deep into current affairs and daily news analysis. You can also follow my series of the daily news analysis on the Coursera platform. Now, you can follow me on Unacademy with this ID and you can avail a 10% discount by using the code PRAS10. You can also follow me on my Telegram channel to get all the updates and the study material on the platform. Now, very important announcement. If you have not subscribed to the iconic subscription and you still have the plus subscription, you can upgrade right away and get a personal coach for yourself, mains test series with evaluation. There'll be customization of your study planner. You can attend study booster sessions. You can be part of high intensity workshops. You can practice answer writing daily and accelerate your preparation with daily content. So if you've not upgraded to the iconic subscription, please do that right away, because there'll be a price hike in the subscription very soon. Also, the biggest discount of 2020 is here, the combo offer, which will offer you UPSC CSE GS plus the optional syllabus combo that is for 1 year, and it will only be for 70,153 rupees. And UPSC CSE GS iconic plus optional is now being provided at 88,705 rupees. You can put the code here, you can put the code PRAS10 and avail an extra 10% discount and fine-tune your preparations. Now, another important announcement is that the 6 months the batch course is starting on the 28th of December. The first one being GS 6 months batch course for prelims 2021 and mission 2021 6 months batch course for UPSC CSE prelims. So in these particular batch courses, you will have prelims, syllabus coverage. You will have you'll be taught by the top educators on one platform. You will have prelims test series with analysis. You will have PDF study material. You will have dedicated doubt clearing sessions and interview preparations as well. So enroll for the batch course that you think is best suited for you, and fine tune your preparations. Now, today we will be talking about the United Nations Security Council. About it's very important to know about the institution called the United Nations, because it is the most important world institution. Then we will talk about the history and the role of the United Nations. We'll talk about what are the challenges that UNSC has. Then we'll talk about the reforms, and in the end we'll talk about India's claim to permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. Okay, now starting with what we have to remember is that India is all set to become a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council from January 2021. Now, it has been spearheading reforms in the United Nations Security Council and the larger UN system in general. Now, it hopes to become a permanent member and has the support of many other nations as well. Now, we will talk about the other nations that are supporting India's claim to the permanent permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. In fact, the Prime Minister has time and again said that global institutions such as the UNSC will have to reform, or else they can become redundant in the long run. Now, in this context, let us understand what exactly this organization is all about and what are the challenges that it grapples with. Now, talking about the history and the role of the United Nations, remember that nations, especially the US, UK, France, the USSR, and China came together and signed the San Francisco Agreement. Please remember this agreement, very important. The San Francisco Agreement in 1945, and the United Nations was established in October 24th, 1945. The year the United Nations was established was 1945. Now remember that presently it has 193 members of the UN, and the primary purpose of the United Nations has been established by Article 1 of the UN Charter. Please remember that the primary purpose of the UN has been established by Article 1 of the UN Charter, and which says that the main aim of this institution is to maintain international peace and security, and to collectively take measures to remove any threats that breach the international peace and security of the world. So the main aim, please remember, is to maintain international peace and security. Now, also another very important role of the UN is to develop friendly relations among nations and cultivate the principles of fostering respect for principles like self-determination and steps to strengthen universal peace. The third important role is to achieve international cooperation for solving international problems of economic, social, cultural, or humanitarian nature. Then another important feature of the UN is to be the center for harmonizing the actions of nations. So please be very careful when you're writing an answer on UN, because you have to start the answer by telling the examiner that the main aim of UN is to promote international peace and security. Now the UNSC, which is the United Nations Security Council, is the single most very important organ of the United Nations. It is responsible for maintaining international peace and security, recommending admission of new members, and recommending the election of key officials, including the UN Secretary General. So the main functions of the United Nations Security Council is to maintain, of course, international peace and security. Second one being recommending admission of new members. In the previous part, I told you that there are 193 members, right? And recommending the election of key officials like the UN Secretary General. Now, talking about the issues that grapple the United Nations Security Council starts with the fact that the 5 permanent members, that are UK, US, France, Russia, and China, what is exactly common in these nations? These nations, for example, the UK, France, and Russian are all European nations. And do we see any representation from Africa? Do we see any representation from South America? The answer is absolutely no. This is the issue. This is the main issue that is grappling the United Nations Security Council, that the P5 members, which is the permanent members of the UNSC, are dominating the entire organization, and in fact they feel that they're still living in the geopolitical realities of the 1940s when they emerged victorious. Now, for example, nations such as India, Mexico, Nigeria, Japan, South Korea, and Brazil have emerged as powerful economies, but despite being, growing in that trajectory, they have not been able to find representation in the United Nations Security Council. In fact, the P5 members, by using their veto powers, have continued to stall any reforms that, relate to the functioning of the council. So it's very important that this dominance is broken and other nations are given representation, so that the institution itself becomes very representative and inclusive in nature. Now, the second issue is of the fact that the council has, despite all efforts, has failed to stop the Syrian crisis, and in fact some very other serious conflicts like Libya and the one that is in Iraq. Now remember that the permanent five members are behaving in an irresponsible manner and veto any decision or discussion that is against their national interest. So this dominance of the P5 members is costing the entire world a lot of it is costing them a lot, and it is imperative that reforms happen as soon as possible to ensure that this institution does not become redundant in the long run. Now, veto has been used by the permanent five members to advance their own national interest and not to settle matters of international peace and security, which is the main aim of the organization. In fact, China has recently vetoed any discussion on the coronavirus pandemic, and this is just one example of how dominant the P5 members can get. In fact, talking about veto, it is basically a method to stop the discussion or a decision. In fact, only the P5 members have this power to veto decisions in the UNSC. Now, of course, this can only be used on substantive motions and not on procedural issues. So please remember that veto of the P5 members in UNSC is only used for substantive motions and not on procedural issues. So these are some of the important issues that are gripping the institution. Then, talking about some important reforms, there are various blocs that have emerged. All the emerging economies and nations have realized that it is high time that reforms take place in order to ensure that there is no that the organization does not become irrelevant in the long run. Now, various blocs have been emerged to spearhead the reforms. Now, for example, India, Germany, Brazil and Japan are part of the G4 alliance, Group 4 alliance. They also spearhead and cooperate with other 42 African nations on the issue of UNSC reforms. In fact, Pakistan, Italy, Argentina, and South Korea are a part of the Coffee Club initiative, and in fact, a terror sponsoring state. It's a very hypocritical in the sense that a terror sponsoring state, for example, Pakistan, hopes to become a permanent member of an institution that has formed that that the foundation of which is to ensure international peace and security. Now, it is the veto that makes this institution so powerful, and in that regard, India has also suggested that veto powers need not be given to the new permanent members for a period of time. Okay, so this was about some of the reforms. Now, talking about India's claim to permanent membership, India has laid claims to the permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council and has stated that it is an emerging economy with a gross domestic product of over USD 3 trillion. In terms of PPP, India is the third largest economy in the world. In fact, India has also contributed its troops to the United Nations peacekeeping mission and has continued to support the United Nations in its objectives of the main one, especially being international peace and security. Further, it is a thriving democracy and fits all the conditions that are and the criteria that is there to become a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Now, the fact that India has become a non-permanent member, it can for 2 years it can really spearhead reforms in the right direction, and the fact is that India fits all the conditions that are there for becoming a permanent member. And in fact, a little background, it was India who actually allowed China to become a permanent member in the first place, of course because of the circumstances that were prevailing at that time. So of course, India has, a lot of nations say that it was because of India that actually China is part of the P5 nations. Now, it needs to be clarified here that no organization has set any conditions or qualifications to become a permanent member. Now, despite the fact that India fits all the conditions, the fact of the matter is that there are no conditions or qualifications that are laid down now by by the United Nations Security Council or any other, established institution. Now, the US, UK, France, and Russia are the permanent members who have supported India in its bid to become a permanent member. Now, who is becoming a challenge here? China has not, supported India in its claim to the permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council. In fact, India is also supported by many other nations around the world in its claim to get the permanent membership. This was it from my side. Please do have a look at my daily news analysis that I do every day on the Coursevi platform. I've done explainers on other institutions as well. For example, the G20 summit, BRICS, and the India's role in it. I also do special classes on the Unacademy platform wherein I have covered the fundamentals of Indian polity. So do follow me there as well, and do follow my Telegram channel to get access to all the important study material and updates. This is it from my side. Please do subscribe to the subscription and get a 10% discount by using the code PRAS10. This is it from my side. Please get the subscription and fine tune your preparations. Thank you so much.